as Christians, we should take comfort that we do not have to fear death for multiple different reasons. But one specific reason is because we are immortal until God calls us home. Let me explain. In Psalm 56, verses 3-4, it says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" You see, David wrote this psalm whenever he was being pursued by the Philistines. Remember that the Philistines were who Goliath belonged to, and he had killed Goliath, their strongest warrior. So obviously, if anybody had a reason to fear their pursuit, it would have been David. Yet, if you look at that last line of verse 4, it says, "What can mere mortals do to me?" And he even says this again in verses 10 and 11. It says, "In God, whose word I praise, and the Lord, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. What can man do to me?" As Christians, it can be terrifying sometimes looking at the world around us and seeing the evil in it. And we know that the majority of the evil things that we see are an attack from the enemy, because we fight against not flesh, but the principalities and powers of the evil one. However, this doesn't mean that we should be afraid. We need to learn to put our trust in God. One of my favorite commentators talked about this the other day, and she said that we are immortal until God calls us home. God has a specific time for each and every one of us, and until then, nobody can lay a hand on us. And death for a Christian is not death. It is simply the changing of location. So, if you've been fearful recently of things that you see around the world, if you have been fearful to speak the truth because you're scared of how people are going to react and maybe what people will do, this should stop that fear right in its tracks. The God we serve is a loyal and faithful God, and He protects us. And He has a set time for each and every one of us. No matter what, we are all going to be called home at some point. And so rather than living in fear, we should have courage in the knowledge that God Himself is the only one that can call us home, and He will not allow anything or anyone to do anything to us until our allotted time. And so I hope that brings comfort to some of you today. I know that it has been comforting me so much. And it brings me so much peace knowing that my time is not in anybody else's hands besides God's. So I hope that encourages some of you today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless.